Now, most of you met Kimmy, the beautiful, sophisticated woman that she is today. A woman that wears $3,000 Armani suits, who drives a brand new Mercedes-Benz. A woman who spends her winters in the Bahamas and her summers in the Hamptons. That's not the Kimmy that I met. The Kimmy that I met didn't have two nickels to rub together. She was a single mom on the balls of her ass with an 8-year-old son. Okay, she was 3 months behind on her rent. And when she came to me and asked me for a job, she asked for a $5,000 advance just so she could pay her son's tuition. What'd I do, Kim? Go on, tell me.
You wrote me a check for $25,000.
That's right. And you know why that is? It's because I believed in you.
Yeah, that's the boy Dave Dust, a.k.a. Sham God. You're watching No Days Off, Season 2. Always working, you heard me.
Sonny was right. The working man is a sucker, Dad. He's a sucker.
He's wrong. It don't take much strength to pull a trigger, but try and get up every morning, day after day, and work for a living. Let's see him try that. Then we'll see who's the real tough guy. The working man is the tough guy. Your father's the tough guy.
I'm not in the mood for steak.
Oh, you're not in the mood for steak? Huh? You know how many times I have to drive that bus back and forth each day so this family can eat steak once a week?
7.
I come from a working class family. My mom was a teacher, my dad was a truck driver. We didn't always have the things that we wanted, but we always had the things that we needed. Back in the 80s when I came up, even as a kid, you could make your own money. I had a paper route. Summertime I cut grass. In the fall I rake leaves. And in the winter I shovel snow. So even at 12 years old, I was just used to having and making my own money.
Where'd you get this? Your mother found this behind your drawer.
It's money that I've been saving, Dad.
$600 you've been saving? What'd you become, a brain surgeon overnight, son?
Tell your father where you got the money.
Dad, I worked for him.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh.
Most of the time, my mother didn't get home till late. And my father being a truck driver, he would be gone for weeks at a time. So the majority of the responsibility of taking care of the house and my younger brothers and sister fell on me. So I had to make sure homework got done, house was clean, and dinner got cooked. I ain't get a chance to go out much. For the most part, my friends would come to me. So, to make up for me being cooped up in the house all week long, my mom would let me stay out late on the weekends. So when most kids was going in when the street lights came on, I was just going out. My neighborhood was made up of mostly houses, but there was an apartment complex that sat right by my school. It was always something going on in the apartments. That was the place that your parents told you never go inside. Everybody wanted to know what it was like in the apartments, but I knew, because that was the first place I went as soon as my mom let me go out. Anything you can think of, anything that went on in the city, it went down in the apartments. This was the crack era. In my mom's time, the drug game was a grown man's business. It was organized. These were grown men. When the cops came in and broke it all apart, it left the game to the younger heads. So now you got teenagers out there making more money than their parents. But truth be told, my mom taught me how to hustle. So I got the game from somebody older, from somebody who knew the rules and how to move in a certain way. She taught me two things. One, she taught me to always pay my taxes. That anytime you make any kind of large purchase, anything that costs a sizable amount of money, you have to be able to account for where that money came from. And two, she told me this is just a tool to survive. This ain't about trying to be flashy or nothing like that. This is just when your back is against the wall, this is something to survive. That's it. This is not something to make a living off of, and this ain't something that you can do forever. And that always stuck with me.
So that's your little new bike, huh? It's fly, right? Yeah, it's fly. I see your shit shimmering, man, you know what I'm saying? I see you got the Rolex. What you know about this, B? You need to get you one, man. Stop playing. No. Straight up pussy magnet, man. You ain't gonna have no problems, man. That ain't my flow, man. Oh, it ain't your flow? You too smooth now? That's what it is, you too smooth? Nah, man, it's you.
In the 90s, I was in high school. The streets was changing. The culture was changing. Hip-hop was changing. It just got to be more about money. A lot of the OGs that was out there before wasn't there no more. So now, I felt like it was my generation's turn. Like coming up in the street, you just knew that one day you was gonna have to step up. That you was gonna have to rep for your neighborhood. And it was gonna be your turn. And the OGs raised you for that. Like they prepared you for when it was gonna be your time to hold it down. And you had to do that. So after a while, I started noticing my friends getting money. Now it ain't just the OGs driving through. Now my homies coming through in them new whips with the new rims on them, with the gold chain, coming through with the polo on, the Columbia rain suit with the matching boots. Everything that we was doing at the time, it didn't seem smart to go out here and shovel somebody's snow for 2 hours or cut grass to make $25 when my friends was making 220 minutes. So at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do.
Seen you brought him up in the black shop, the gold BBS's, man. I said, damn, this nigga's really making this money. He's really making money, man. You understand?
Think on a bam bam, the was all Jamaican, little different style, different fashion, you know? Tell me say one thing Nancy can't understand. One thing Nancy can't understand. What make them a talk about me ambition? Say what make them a talk about me ambition? Come and say some of them a ask me where me get it from. Just some of them a ask me where me get it from. I told them no no it's from creation. I told them no no it's from creation. Bam bam hey yo, what a bam 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 dilang bam 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 dilang bam 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 hey, what a bam bam ta what a bam.
In 96, I moved to Willingboro. And honestly, when I got here, I wasn't trying to hustle. I was really trying to focus on my music. Being in the studio late night, it'd be hard to get weed. So I would always try to keep something on me, just to make sure that we were straight. Back then, what you would pay $10 for in Jersey will only cost you $5 in Philly. So we used to go over there to pick up. But the quality of the weed wasn't always all that good. Everybody from my hood went to New York. So I took a trip to Harlem and found me a plug. Back then, Arizona was popping. Everybody was talking about AZ. So I had some of the best weed around. And then on top of that, I started selling dimes for nicks. So now, all the traffic that was going to Philly is coming to me now. I even started selling Dutchess. You ain't even have to go to the store. I had everything that you needed. I was killing them.
Man, see, other dealers were selling at the highest price they could get. I sold it cheaper, so I was selling it faster. I sold it so cheap, I started taking their customers away. See, I was wholesale on the street, you understand? Now, in the end, I made more money. But I wasn't trying to keep shit all to myself. See, I wasn't trying to get on the stage, and I didn't want people hating. I put people on, understand? The street was happy. Everybody could eat. Yeah, dealing was alright.
For the first time, I had all the pieces. Clothes, jewelry, car, money, women. I had it all. For the first time ever, I got the ball. but ballin' to get you busted. And I felt the heat coming. It was time to get out.
Hey, yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be aight, nigga. You tough, right?
I'm out, Rico. You understand what I'm saying? Look at me. I've been shot in the head, baby. My body different. I'm breathing different. You understand what I'm saying? The doctor said I wasn't gonna walk the same. You understand what I'm saying? I'm out.
Yo, hey, man, pull your skirt down, B. The streets is missing you, yo. Come on, man, what you wanna give all this shit up?
Of course, I ain't take my own advice. I kept hustling, but it wasn't that easy to stop. It wasn't even about the drugs. It was about the feeling that I got. If I could have sold anything else and had the same success, I would have. But nobody told me about being a businessman, or being a lawyer, or being a doctor. But I knew I had talent. I knew I was smart. I knew I was worth something. With this, I got to prove it. I had something to show. It was my own world, and I was important in it.
I love the game. I love the hustle, man. Be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know, like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know?
I got a call from one of my regulars, said he needed some trees, so I told him meet me at the spot I usually meet him at. And when I got there, the cops was waiting on me. He set me up. This was like maybe 12 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time they finally got me to BCJ and processed me and I made it to my actual cell, it was probably 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I remember sitting in that cell and just thinking, when I woke up this morning, it was a girl on my bed, there was a chain and a nice watch on my nightstand, there was money in it, fresh pair of sneakers on the ground, and brand new clothes in my closet. When I laid my head down that night, I was in an orange jumpsuit with nothing to show for myself. All that hustling to end up with nothing. It wasn't worth it.
But it's all fake. Understand what I'm saying? This life, this game, there ain't no love in it. It don't love you back.
To truly find peace, you're supposed to be able to find good in everything. So if there's any good about being in jail, it'll have to be the fact that you have to sit still. When you're in the streets, you're ripping and you're running, and it keeps you from having to deal with the real issues going on in your life. Once you're in jail, you're forced to deal with those issues. In the county, the mirrors aren't made out of glass. It's polished metal. So you can see yourself, but your image is blurry. And that's how I felt about my life. I couldn't see the old Jamil. I couldn't see who I used to be, because I wasn't that person anymore. I was different. I had changed. The things I had been through, things I had seen, the things I had experienced, it changed me, and there was no going back from that. The only thing that I could do was move forward and put the same effort that I put into doing wrong into doing right. But I never lost my foundation. It's just that when you're working hard, if you don't have anything to show for it, you feel like you're working for nothing. The harder you have to work for something, the more it's gonna mean to you. And without the work, there is no results. I'm always working on reminding myself to take pride in the work itself, not the results. Because the results is up to God, not me. Work is not your job. Work is life and everything that you have to do in order to get through every single day. So if you did your best, you are a success. But it all starts with doing the right thing. No days off.
Do I have talent, Dad?
Of course you have talent. You got all the talent in the world.
Can I be a baseball player?
You can be anything you want to be. Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't do the right thing, then nothing happens. But when you do right, guess what? Good things happen. You hear me?
You're right.
Let's go for that ice cream.
Come on and get locked TV, show them loose. Let me pull those and see what get by. Now, I'm shooting some footage. I got a little documentary doing I'll be doing. What? Yeah. Yeah, got you. Give me some weed too. Man, I don't smoke, I don't sell, I don't do nothing.